Hi there. I am about to open up with you my yarn for the temperature blanket that I'm going to make for 2025. I had to write it down. It is called the Linen Square Temperature Blanket. I'll put it down here on the screen and link it in the description. The last time I made anything temperature-wise was way back in 2013, and I made a temperature scarf. And where's my beginning? There it is. I made this scarf and I garter stitched it, and it snowed, so I would add beads when it snowed, and I think it just snowed that one time in January, and then I separated it by two rows of white. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and then back to December. So you can see, very easy to, the colors that I chose was very easy to see. The warm temperatures in the middle, the cooler green, blue temperatures on the ends for the winter time. And that's what you mostly see in temperature blankets and crocheted blankets, knitted blankets, scarves, and the like. When I decided that this is what I wanted to do for this year, I wanted to tackle something. I wanted to have something weekly that I could work with you if you want to knit along, or well, actually it's crochet. Well, you could knit if you wanted to. We could do it at the same time. Maybe you'll be doing a knitting temperature blanket. But if you want to do something temperature-wise along with me, it kind of gives something that we can work on each week. You can see the progress that I'm making. And I like that the Linen Square, it's big squares, so you have the whole month in one, like that. And I really like the looks, the colors that they chose. And then I was stuck on what colors to choose, because then you get worked up. What are the colors going to be? And I didn't really want it to be reds for hot, and then yellows and greens and blues and purples, kind of like what I did before. So I went to my favorite local artist, my daughter. I said, we were actually driving back from Wellsboro, and I put Knit Picks on my phone, and I said, Jenny, can you just pick out 10 colors that you like? And she's like, okay. And so she did, and I actually liked the colors that she chose, because they weren't rainbow. She said she just liked them, so that's the colors that we went with. And I think they all go well together. And then one of the I think it's the main blanket on that Linen Square temperature blanket, you can tell that there's heat changes, obviously, but it's not just red or it's not so obvious. I'm hoping it'll look different from this, and I think it definitely will, because of the colors that she chose. I have not ordered from Knit Picks in over 6 years, so it was a lot of fun going back to the website and looking around, see how the prices have changed, see what yarns they've added and stuff like that. And then you can ask for it to be put in a bag for you, which I liked. And plus, this is a really nice shipping box, because I am a reseller, and so I'm always looking for a good box, and so it definitely is a good box. I decided to go with the Brava yarn, and I used to use this yarn when I would knit toys. And so here are all the yarns that Jenny picked. Spread it out here, and then I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to show it to you. Here they are. So she did choose dark colors, and then it goes to light colors. I think it turned out really neat, and she probably might help me rearrange them to warm to light colors, because she does have an eye for color. She's constantly drawing. She's my go-to for when I'm like, what color is this? So it'll be interesting to see how I arrange them, and then what she thinks of it with the temperatures. And it'll probably, I think I will have it every 10 degrees, so 100 to 90. I might go with the same temperature increments as I did with my scarf. Let's see what she picked. Lady Slipper, Fairy Tale, Cobblestone Heather, Alfalfa, Tide Pool, Mint, sky, this one, avocado, seashell, and seraphim, which is a light purple color. I did pick it because it has dye lots, and I know I may not get the same dye lots, but I think it'll be pretty good. And I also picked it because it's inexpensive, and most importantly, it is soft, and I've worked with it before. I still have you one. Is that okay? Look, they can just see me. What do you think of the color? Wow! Just dropped them. I'm trying to have it up a little bit higher. What do you think of the colors?
They're pretty.
Because I think like they can go from like this would be the warmer, hotter.
That's cold.
This is cold?
That has blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I might have to have her put it in order for me because I was thinking this would be light. This would be cold.
Well, yeah, but not by. It's not by what like how light or dark the color is. It's literally by like red, orange, and yellow.
Right. It's
warm,
this. Yeah.
And then
purple, blue, and
green. Green's not.
But I didn't want it like so obvious, like what I chose before. That's why I made you choose. I just double checked and I had 11 colors for my scarf, and I only picked 10 for this. But I still am going to make it work. I had another color for the scarf, but I just made it 96 and above. This will be 86 to 95, 76 to 85, 66, and so on. And you can see how it will get colder and colder and colder, and the coldest. I had Jenny put these in order how she thought that they should go. And Jimmy kind of chimed in a little bit there. So a family affair of getting the temperature scarf in order. So next I'm going to make a little chart, cut off a little piece for each one. I think that is easier. A lot of people recommended it. Then you can just look at your paper. You're not constantly going, what color did I use? Even though these are pretty separate colors, it's not blending them so close together. I think it'll be easy for me to remember. This is mint. What is this called? I've already forgotten. What is this one called? Alfalfa? Alfalfa and avocado. Here's the cheat sheet. I just used a piece of paper and some packing tape and taped the yarn on there. I also wrote it on the labels itself just in case, but I'm also going to have this online. So I have 3 places to make sure I don't mess it up. I think I will be using the average temperature of the day. I think that will work. Some people use the highest or the lowest of the day. I think I'm going to go average. I think it'll be the average linen square temperature blanket. This is a free pattern, and you can go to her blog and find it. And I have never made a linen square before, but I looked it up, and it's kind of like a granny square, but there's just one little section. You don't make it like space it out like a regular granny square. I think I'll be able to do it. If not, we'll stumble through it together, and at least by March I should be pretty good at it. I wanted to sneak in here and give my progress so far. Today is the 5th, but I am working a day behind because that way I know the exact high temperature. I did it one day before. I did it in the evening. I was like, oh, the evening temperature, probably the high's up there, and it wasn't. They just double it up because they don't know for sure. So I decided to just wait till the next day. We have 47, 39, 34, 29, and this is what it looks like so far. Seraphim, avocado, alfalfa, alfalfa. And this is my first time doing the linen square. It's also called moss stitch. That I've ever done this before. Usually when I do granny squares, it's doubled and it looks like a typical granny square. The pattern that I'm using says to do the round, and then do chain 1 and then flip your work. I have been putting the ends in, not perfect. I'm sure I'm my background, I'm a knitter. I learned to crochet. So I'm sure my weaving in the ends is terrible to some people, but I did keep one end so I would know what the back is. And then also if it flipped around in my basket and I didn't know which way, I just undid where I linked it to the end of the chain, and then that gave me an idea of what direction that I'm going. Her hint was if you turn it, then you avoid the wonkiness of it kind of going off in one direction and it stays more square. I'm really pleased with the colors and how they're turning out. I'm really glad Jenny chose them for me because I definitely would not have chosen these for colors And I think it looks really pretty. It's going to be interesting when it gets this color up here in the spring and the summertime. I'm really hoping I can go down here. We are supposed to have some inclement weather. Up in Maine, I would be using these. My whole square, I think, would be this. But it is fun. I am glad I started it. And I hope that you start something along with me as well. I'm looking forward to reading in the comments what kind of project you're going to be doing for 2025 that is to do with temperature, or maybe you're going to do, I've also seen people do mood blankets or scarves, depending on your mood, which would be very interesting. I would just like to see and share what kind of projects you are going to be doing for the whole year. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. All right, happy knitting, happy hooking, and I'll catch you on the next one.